Boreal Forest!
Ugh, I have so much biology homework. Well, what is it about? It's about some stupid boreal biome thing.
It's not stupid, it's fun!
The boreal forest climate is really interesting. Climate is the average weather in an area for a long period of time. Here are some fun facts. The boreal forest has really cold and snowy winters and kind of warm summers. The temperature during the winter can get as low as negative 65 degrees and can get up to 70 degrees.
That's pretty cool.
Boreal forests have long winters with short summers. Precipitation mostly comes in the form of snow. They get approximately 40 to 100 centimeters of precipitation each year.
Whoa, that sounds pretty cool. But you want to know what else is super cool? The low level of biodiversity. Biodiversity is the level of variety in a biome or an ecosystem of their plants, animals, and all their different species. Now, the boreal forest has a super low level of biodiversity, and that's because of the super cold temperatures. It's ridiculously chilly. And because of that, for any organism to try to survive, it would have to be able to adapt to some pretty harsh conditions.
Well, what kind of organisms can even handle that cold?
I'm so glad that you asked. Basically, for any animal to live in a boreal forest, it has to have certain adaptations. So that would include any animals from like a moose, a reindeer, wolves, and a sharp-shinned hawk. That's difficult to say. Try saying sharp-shinned hawk 3 times fast. That also includes plants, but the plants also have to have adaptations too. Very common plants would include a Scotch pine, a Norway spruce, twin flower, pond weeds, and baneberry.
Boreal Forest! Boreal Forest!
Wait a minute. How can plants even grow there? It says here that the soil is thin, acidic, and poor nutrients, which makes for weak and struggling plants.
Well, that's true. But the plants that I just mentioned, they actually already have adaptations. And that means they're able to thrive even if the soil kind of stinks.
Okay, I think I get it. They seem to make up for it when they can. But wait, where can you even find a boreal forest?
Well, have you ever heard of Alaska? It gets really cold up there and not down there.
The climate, biodiversity, soil quality, and growing season of the Alaskan Yukon boreal forest fall perfectly in line with the standard boreal forest. Winters are super cold and last for about 7 to 9 months, and the summers are short. Snow is always covering everything, but there is never any rain, making the growing season short because the soil is not good. Without any rain, the soil is acidic and not rich.
But that doesn't mean that nothing lives out there. The plants of the Alaskan Yukon forest are very typical of a boreal biome. The needly trees, kind of like white or black spruce, have wax that insulate their needles from the heavy snowfall typical of that region. They also have a very specific shape that allows every single branch from the bottom one to the top one to get an optimum amount of sunlight. And then big animals like moose and caribou have adapted to the large snowfall as well. The moose, they have really long legs that allow them to keep their body out of the snow. And then the caribou have feet that kind of work like snowshoes. We're going to explain more about the very common risks of that region more in the next segment.
The spruces have wax on their needles to keep them warm and insulated amongst all the snow. There's a lot of snowfall, but never any rain. This causes the ground to be dry and rocky. The very furry animals like our friend Lucky here also contribute to the risk factor that many boreal forests face.
And that natural threat is fire. including the animals, because their fur contribute. Now, on average, the biggest risk that a boreal biome is going to have is going to be a forest fire, because all of the factors, such as the very, very flammable trees, flammable animals, as well as the flammable, including the flammable and very dry ground, make it very easy for a fire to start and very hard for it to stop. And that is what a boreal biome is.